so today is Mark's first day in the gym, and we're going to teach him how to squat. We always teach the squat in 2 stages. Stage 1 is going to be body weight, and then we'll take the body weight squat into the rack and put a bar on his back. The first thing we're going to teach Mark is his stance. I want him to line up with his heels about as wide as his shoulders and his toes out 30 degrees. So once he gets that, take him just a little wider. Good. So the next thing I'm going to have him do is put his hands together, and he's going to sit down into his squat and use his elbows to shove the knees out. Alright, so once Mark is here, a couple things I want to point out to him. Number 1, that his leg or his knee and his toes are pointing in the same direction. Alright, that's really important. Number 2, I want him to know that he's not upright. He is leaning forward with his chest pointed at the floor. I want him to make sure that he realizes this. The third thing that I'm going to point out is his hip crease is just below the top of his kneecap. Go ahead and come out. Alright, so once Mark has the basic squat position, the next thing I'm going to do is teach him how to drive his hips out of the bottom. The way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to come over and put my hands right on his tailbone. I'm going to tell him to take a big breath and push up against me as he stands. Good. Let's do that again. So knees are going to be out, big breath, and push. Good. Let's do one more. Knees out, big breath, push. Good. Okay, so there are 4 things that we need Mark to take away from the basic body weight squat. Number 1 is going to be his stance. For most people, this is going to put your heels about shoulder width apart and your toes out about 30 degrees. The second thing that we want Mark to know is depth. We want the top of his hip or his hip crease to be just below the top of his kneecap in the bottom of the squat. The third thing that we want Mark to understand is his back angle. It is not going to be upright. He's going to be leaning forward with his chest pointed at the floor. The fourth thing, the final thing that we need Mark to know from this basic setup is going to be how to drive his hips out of the bottom of the squat. Alright, so once we have the body weight squat down, the next thing we're going to do is go to the rack and we're going to start squatting an empty barbell. We need to teach the person where to put the bar on their back. Go ahead and slide under the bar. And he's going to put his fingers and his thumbs on top of the barbell and put the bar on his back. He's looking for the spine of his scapula, which is a tiny little bone you can feel if you reach back and grab the top of your shoulder on the back side. Once he has the bar set there, we're going to remind him to straighten his wrist and keep his thumbs on top of the barbell. From there, I'm going to have him pull his chest up and get his back tight and draw the elbows in against his rib cage. He's ready to step back and do his first rep. Alright, we're ready to do some empty barbell squatting with Mark. Go ahead and get set in your rack position. When you're ready, take 2 steps out. So I'll remind him to set his feet, heels shoulder width apart, toes out 30 degrees. I also want to remind him that a couple things are different in this phase of the squat. He does not have his elbows to shove his knees out, so he has to do that with his hips. He also doesn't want to stop in the bottom position either. We want to feel the bottom of the squat and then bounce out of the bottom. So go ahead and take a big breath. Good. Squat, chest to the floor, hips up. Good. Now exhale. Good. Take a big breath. Squat, chest to the floor, hips up. Good job. Take a big breath. Chest to the floor, hips up. Let's do 2 more. Big breath. Hips up. Good job. A little lower on this last one. Big breath. Chest to the floor, hips up. Good job. Step in, rack it up. So what we'll do after this phase, once we have that dialed in, is we'll just add a little bit of weight and we'll work up in sets of 5.